Hey, Small Lake City, get ready to say cheese. Join Cache Valley Creamery at the Food Truck Cheese Fest during the Mill Creek Farmers Market on Wednesday, July 9th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Mill Creek Common. It's a delicious, family-friendly evening packed with cheese-filled food truck creations, fun activities, fresh market finds, and yeah, plenty of cheese. You can stop by the Cache Valley booth and spin to win fun prizes, or visit Cache Valley Creamery on Instagram to win a family 4-pack for dinner and skating. Cache Valley Creamery is proud to partner with Mill Creek Farmers Market to bring you a celebration of community, local flavor, and great cheese. Mark your calendar, grab your crew, and come hungry. Visit cachevalleycreamery.com to find out more. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Small Lake City Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Nilsson, and this week's guest is someone who is very active in the Greek community and has founded one of my personal favorite Greek restaurants in Salt Lake, Manoli's. So our guest this week is none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Manoli Katsanevas. Born and raised in the family that founded Salt Lake's favorite burger spot, Crown Burger, where he grew up scrubbing the floors, working on the line, and made him want to work in a restaurant as his career. He graduated from the culinary program at Slick until he eventually came up with the idea for Manoli's, and him, with the love of his life, they were able to do that. And not only that, but then start their most recent restaurant venture, Parea, down the street on 9th South. Lots to learn from him. A lot of great insights into the Greek community and culture here. Also, we have the Greek Festival coming up in September. That's one of the longest running cultural festivals in Salt Lake. So make sure to mark your calendars for that if you haven't yet. But without any further ado, let's jump into the episode with me and Manoli to hear more about him and his amazing story. Enjoy. If there's one thing that I will always say about Salt Lake, it's like the Greeks have always held the backbone of the culture in Salt Lake, because we, as like, I mean, in Utah in general, I mean, because of like the predominant culture becomes it's a very conforming way of life. And you have so many cultures that have come here. I mean, you take your 23andMe of anybody and there's so many different cultures, but there aren't a lot of people that demonstrate those cultures in a very active way. And so, like, I mean, I have friends, I mean, in the Greek community, like, I mean, Chris Coombs, for example, one of my, I mean, pledge brothers, fraternity brothers, got beers with him a couple of weeks ago to catch up because I mean, he does a lot of things and needs a lot of help promoting stuff. And I always love helping promote stuff like City Streets and the Greek Festival, everything that's coming up. And it's also funny to see, like, just like the comment I always hear the most from people is, oh, I know so-and-so who's Greek. Their family owns Crown Burger. And I'm like, yes, they're like, there's this family. And obviously, like, the more the kids happen and like the more people can say that it comes from it. But it's always funny to see these like claims of fame of the Greek community. And like, especially, I mean, either on Chris's story on Instagram or like Elena Saltis is one that I got introduced via a friend of mine. And like, I see like, just like the Greek parties you guys have, like the instruments are out, like the dollar bills are getting thrown out. And I'm just like, how do I get in on this? Because this looks like so much fun.
They are fun, yeah. And anyone that goes to it, that's not Greek, goes to a Greek wedding, they always just go nuts. They're just like, what is happening right now? Everyone's throwing dollars and dancing and drinking. And yeah, it's just fun. We know how to have a good time. That's one thing about our culture.
Yeah, like, I mean, I go to a Mormon wedding and there's just like some sort of catered, vanilla cake. And then there's
vanilla cake and a couple sandwiches. Yeah.
Black-eyed peas in the background.
We don't mess around. Everything's around. I mean, everything in Greek culture is around food, food and gathering together. And so that's why I feel like we're so good at running restaurants or doing anything in the hospitality industry, because I feel like we were like built to do that, because that's like one of the things that we love. We learn it from our parents, our grandparents, just having people over at your house, feeding them until they can't eat anymore and they want to throw up.
And they're like, but still eat.
Yeah, but still eat. Yeah. So that's, I feel like it's innately just who we are.
Yeah. And I love that, because like, any true culture and like cultural gathering, family gathering, however you want to call it, like, it's always based around food, which I will always love because I'm a big fan of food. And like, there was one time on my mission, there was this Samoan family we were meeting with, or they were just really nice to us. And before we went in the first time, my companion looks at me, he's like, just so you know, eat slow. And I was like, what do you mean? Because I was from Utah. I mean, I had Polynesian friends growing up. I'm like, what do you mean? I love Polynesian food. Like, this is kind of like, feels like home to me. So we show up, they give us a plate of food. I eat it way too fast. Next thing I know, there's another one with more food waiting right behind it. I was like, right.
Okay, I see slow. This now.
So, you live, you learn.
Yeah.
But Manoli Katsanevas, I'm excited because, I mean, Manoli's is an amazing restaurant. The accolades prove it. I mean, James Beard, semifinalist. I mean, it's part of what I would say is like one of the, I mean, subjectively so, like best restaurants on the Nine Line. I love going there. I mean, the first time I went with, he's my dentist and childhood best friend, Brandon Bowen. So it was me, my partner at the time, him and his wife, and we go. And Manoli's a great time because they had a gift card from somewhere. But then when we were walking out, there was so I look over and I see Joe Ingles on the patio.
Oh, Joe Ingles, yeah.
And I mean, we'd probably had 2 bottles of wine between us. I go up, just like, I mean, probably apologetically so, like walk through the plants. I'm like, Joe, good to see you, man. Have a good night. And he's like, yeah, thanks. Like, whatever. And my partner at the time, she's like, you just know everybody. And I'm like, I do not know him. Just to be very clear, I am drunk and I see someone I recognize and respect and appreciate.
I'm glad you thought that.
Yeah, but I'm glad you thought that. I mean, especially with the expansion of Parea and having a more fast casual option, it's been fun to see how you've taken, I mean, let's call it like the legacy of Greek food and Greek culture, and for lack of a better term, put it on your back to keep that legacy going, but also take your own unique twist on it. So I'm excited to hear more of kind of that journey, because I know that your story more or less, I mean, starts with your Greek family, starts with, I mean, for lack of a better term, like mopping floors at Crownburg.
Yeah, no, definitely did. I mean, so I grew up in the industry. So my dad, when he was younger, he owned a nightclub called the Athenian in the 70s, and his siblings owned those too. And then they got out of the Athenian, and then they started the Crown Burgers. So my uncle...
do you know what year that was roughly?
I think it was 1970... God, it was 1977, I believe, is when they opened the first Crown Burger. It was the one on 2nd South, but my uncle Nick, my dad's brother, and my dad's brother-in-law, John Kazarakis, opened that. And then the second Crown Burger, my dad and his brother, Manuel, opened that Crown Burger.
Okay.
And then each sibling kind of started opening Crown Burgers. So now there's 7. My dad got out of it in the 80s, I believe, a little bit before I was born. So, but I was raised working at Crown Burgers. I worked for my cousin Mike, who owns a 33rd South and Highland Drive Crown Burger, cleaning tables, doing drinks, things like that. That's kind of how I got into the industry, because my parents had to start working around 13 years old, just so we could, learn work ethic, stay out of trouble, things like that.
Did you have a lot of siblings?
I have 3 older brothers.
Okay.
Yes, I have 3 older brothers, 4 boys, wild household, but good, but yeah, so I started doing tables, drinks, and then, you keep moving up. And then when I was about 15 or 16, I believe I was 15, my cousin asked me, he's like, hey, I want to teach you how to start cooking. And I was like, oh, okay. And I always grew up, like, my mom's an amazing cook. She cooked every night, like everything from scratch. She's awesome. So I always watched her cook and stuff, and I was always intrigued with it, but I never really got involved too much. Like, she'd have us peel potatoes, things like that, And then anyways, I started cooking over at Crown. I loved working on the line. I was like, God, this is so much fun. I like the adrenaline rush, things like that. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Obviously, I was so young. But once I graduated high school, I was like, God, I kind of want to get into maybe cooking and doing more stuff with cooking, because I wanted to open a restaurant. I was like, I think I want to open a restaurant. And so that's kind of how it all kind of began. Cool. Through Crown Burger.
Yeah. Well, it's fun to see it, because again, going back to your comment about like Greek culture all circled around food. So not only do you have a home where your mother's cooking every night, bringing the family together, but then if you're not there, you're either at school or at Crown Burger cooking or being around some sort of food experience.
Yeah, we were just always around food. Like, all my family, like my aunts are all awesome cooks. Like, everyone just cooks really good. Everyone cooks from scratch. So like, I didn't realize how rare it was to be around such good food all the time, and for them to cook the way they did, until I got older. And I was like, holy crap, like, they're using hotel pans, like my aunts and my mom and stuff. Like, that's like what you use in restaurants, they're like cooking for no less than like 8 to 10 people at all times.
And that's like a small amount.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we were in a house with, 5 guys, because it was my dad and my 3 brothers. So like, my mom had to cook a lot because we were all just savages. So it just, so it was kind of crazy. But yeah, and then I decided to go to culinary school. So I went to Salt Lake Community College, and I was like, all right, well, let's give this a shot and see how it goes. And I just kind of fell in love with it even more, and just started working around at a lot of restaurants.
Well, I love your comment about like, I didn't realize what I was experiencing in my family gatherings, either broader family or your own, until you started to get older. Like, oh, this is more special than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Because like for me, like growing up, so like when I was younger, my mom was working more pediatrician. So it's usually come home, 30-minute meal, hour meal, or pick up something along the way. And then parents split up, and she had, less time then, so a lot more of those, and then got remarried and wasn't working as much, and so she because food's a big thing in my family too. That's my way my grandma shows love. I mean, every big holiday we'd go to is at her house. Inspired my cousin to become a chef. Now he's a chef up in Willamette Valley in Pacific Northwest, which then inspired his nephew to be a chef. He went to Oregon State, became a mechanical or electrical engineer, graduated and said, he's like, actually, I think I want to go work at a restaurant. And so now he's a chef at a restaurant in downtown Portland. And so it's fun how these experiences and cultures that you have growing up influence so many people later on. So not only just be like, oh, cool, I'm going to learn how to cook at Crownburg, to be like, you know what, actually, I think I can do something. And it wasn't and I had a similar experience growing up where, I thought that that's what was going on with, so as my mom got more time to cook, she really leaned into it, started baking a ton, started making, all the bread that she would have at family, especially bigger family dinners, was homemade, started baking cookies a lot. My stepdad hates chocolate. And so for every family dinner we have now and since then, it was always, there's a fruit or vanilla option, and then there's a chocolate option. I'm always going to gravitate towards chocolate because that's who I am. But I didn't realize how special it was until get in my 20s and start dating, going to friends' dinners. And I was like, oh, you mean it's not normal for you guys on a Sunday dinner or a holiday dinner to have all of the china out and have name tags and to and then have all of this, because I'd just gotten so sensitized to it. Now, there's also the pendulum swing can go too far one way, where it's hey, you're worried too much about the presentation, the experience, when in reality, the best part of a meal is sitting down and enjoying people's time, conversing and having that intimate time together.
Yeah.
And so I love that you realized kind of how special that was. And especially, like you said, the energy of a kitchen is palpable. It's stressful. It's chaotic, but it's still fun.
And it's where everyone wants to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's literally where everyone wants to be. When you're in a house, everyone's always around the kitchen.
Yes.
And then when you're in a professional kitchen, when you're in there, it's just the energies. There's something intangible you can't really feel, that you're just God, it just feels good, where people are working together, they're together, where it just brings people together. And I think that's what always kind of attracted me to it.
Totally. Even thinking about other restaurateurs and entrepreneurs that I've had on the podcast. Like Matteo Sagne and him talking about growing up in Italy with his family. And similar to Greek culture, food is everything. It brings people together. And he wanted to, even if if you type in togetherness.com, it takes it to you to his website. Oh. And then even with Nick Zacco, he was he was about to graduate high school. Nick Zacco's executive chef at Urban Hill. And he's I don't really know what I want to do. Teenage kid, but then gets connected to guys hey, why don't you just come work at the restaurant in the summer and see how you like it? And he's like, I actually really do like this. But yeah, food is one of the few experiences that we can all share and bring together. And it's similar to my opinion of music. There is no competition there. There's obvious competition, shout out VFM. But it's a shared experience where it brings us all together. Just like music, it's not us against them. It's us all together enjoying something together. And so that's something that I've always grown to appreciate via my cousin who lives in the Pacific Northwest, because I really didn't appreciate food until he was we're going to go have an adult night out. We're going to go have a drink somewhere, maybe go grab an appetizer somewhere, go put our name on a list, maybe we'll grab another drink, and then we'll go eat, and then we'll maybe go grab dessert or maybe a little nightcap. And I was like, oh, this is fun. It's yeah, this is how it's done.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, what's your Crown Burger order? Or maybe you don't eat it anymore.
No matter what. No, I eat. I never get sick of Crown. Burger's one of my favorite meals, but double cheeseburger, just straight up. I don't know. I'm a double cheese guy. No matter where I go get a burger, double cheese is my thing. Yeah, I always double cheese. Always extra dressing, extra fry sauce, and then normally tomatoes and pickles only.
Okay.
But it depends on the day, and then a side of crispy fries. That's my jam. I love a good double cheese. Yeah.
I think there was this moment in my life where, because I would go to Crown Burger periodically. My family growing up was more of a Hires family because we just lived closer. But now, because I live in Marmalade, there's 2 Crown Burgers kind of wherever I go. Because if I go up Third West, then there's Third West, North Temple. And then if I go down Second South to get anywhere east, then I'm oh, there's another one here. So if I needed one reminder, good. Then second one, stick a fork in me, I'm done. But there was a moment of maturity where I saw someone get, a Crown Burger, a pastrami hamburger. I was like, what is this? They're like, just get it. And then I was like, I'm in. I'm sold.
So good.
Yeah, give me a pastrami burger, everything on it with an extra dressing or fry sauce to dip it in, fries, Oreo shake, maybe a Coke if I'm feeling it.
Yep. And then a nap after.
Oh, it's like, and it's funny, like getting older, like I realize what my comfort foods are.
Yeah.
But like, I always realize that they do in fact comfort me.
Yeah, right.
And so I'll have a Crown Burger and I'm just like, we can go to bed. We can just kind of like, just let this all marinate for a moment and move on.
No better feeling, right?
Yeah. Go take a nap on the couch, especially like family dinners, go take a nap on the couch after, or I don't know. That's what we did.
Oh, yeah. And then as you get older, it just extends because it starts hurting your stomach. You're like, oh, no. I'm bloated too, and I need to take a nap.
I'm really not moving anymore. So I love that you realize it's something that you wanted to do. I mean, was there any moment in time that you can remember as far as a memory of being like, oh, this was the moment that I realized that this was for me, or I wanted to take it further than working in the line at Crown Burger?
And when I was working at line at Crown, I realized that I really enjoyed it. And then when I started going to culinary school, I was, that's where I was like, okay, yeah, this is awesome. I like learning about French cuisine and other cuisines besides, burgers and Greek food. And so I started really enjoying that. But when I worked at a place called Cafe Niche. The guy who owned it, his name's Ethan LePay. He owned it at the time. He owned it for, I think, about 4 years. He's one of my really close friends. When I started working there was that was like the moment where I was like, yes, I always felt like I was going to open a restaurant, but I was like, yeah, I need to do this. Like, this is awesome, because I was able to see those guys open a restaurant, and they were like one of the first people, like when Pago started. It was like Pago, Cafe Niche, Copper Onion, where they were starting like the whole farm to table movement. And we haven't really seen that in Salt Lake, because before that it was like, Market Street. There wasn't a ton, and they were the first ones doing that, like that farm to table thing. I was like, God, I love this, because this reminds me of like how Greek food is. It's very like simple ingredients, really good. They were getting so much local produce from farmers every day, fresh fish. And I was like, dude, I could do this, but on a Greek scale, or with Greek cuisine, or with my style and stuff. So that was like the moment where I was like, okay, I think this is actually going to work. Salt Lake, I think, really needs this, and I think we could really fill this niche. Yeah, and that's one thing. Like, I mean, one feedback I have different about Salt Lake from a lot of people is like, oh, the food isn't great, food isn't this. I'm like, listen, if you know what we've come from into where we are now, like, put some respect on it all. Because again, like growing up, like we would go. I mean, the two restaurants I remember going to was Spaghetti Factory in Trolley Square. Because, I mean, you have 3 kids. There's no better place. But yeah, have your Mazithra, go have your spumoni, chop up some bread, and drink your milk. Don't understand why we did it that way, but we did. And then the other one was Charlie Chow's, because that was also in Trolley Square at the time. I mean, now it's on 4 South. But like that was it. And even thinking about some of the other, like you've mentioned, some of those farm to table, some of those initial restaurants that came. And it's interesting to see like I guess for lack of a better term, like table they set for the rest of people to come in and kind of keep iterating on these new ideas. I mean, like, for example, you have you and Manoli's, and having a true elevated Greek experience compared to kind of like a lot of the Greek food that people were around before. And like you have people like, I mean, going back to Matteo and him being like, cool, I'm literally going to move my family out here from Italy to create another Italian experience. And now like all these different restaurant groups, and seeing kind of what they're willing to do, and seeing this appetite, no pun intended, for better food in Salt Lake. And so it's fun to see these different restaurateurs take these ideas and run with it. I mean, even Scott from Pago, I mean, seeing what he's now doing with Sugar House Station. And like, I'm a big fan of it, especially in Sugar House right there on that note is like, we had, I mean, all of the renovations that happened, and a lot of chains came in. I mean, even that line, it was like Buffalo Wild Wings, Cold Stone, Potbelly, and just like corporate ones. And then they've kind of all phased out. But now we're phasing in a lot of more of these local spots. And so it's fun to see this next wave kind of reiterate that point of good quality local food and people willing to take the risk to do so. Well, that's what people want. And that's why 9th South has been so attractive, is because all of the landlords, the people that own all those properties on 9th South, are really good about leasing out locally, because that's what Sugar House was supposed to be. Sugar House, before they remodeled it, I don't know if you remember, it was like Sugar House Coffee, Luna's Italian Ice. It was such a cool place. And then they said, okay, we're going to remodel it and do all this local business. And then they're, when you're charging $35 to $40 a square foot back in 2014, you're going to price out all those local guys. So they put in these chains, and now they're going out. So hopefully, I think what they're realizing is now let's bring in some local places, and I think it'll start hopping a lot more, because I really think that's why Night South is doing so well. Like it feels like Southeast Portland, like that, where it's just you have all those local restaurants like Ava Jean's and things like that. Like you have everything from Central Ninth Market to Waterwitch to coming up to Parea, Manoli's to Scott's Place. And I don't know, I just think it's really is. And I'm partially biased, obviously, because we have restaurants in that area, but like it really is probably the coolest area in the city. Like it really is so different.
And it's unique too, because I mean, even using your example, like you specifically, and even like, I think like Will McMaster, like Pizza No Bistro, is you start with one example. So you have Manoli's, which I mean, I assume was based on the look of the building, was a new build. You came in and were able to be the first tenant there. But then because it is there's so much opportunity there to be developed that you're like, oh, cool. I do want another restaurant. I love being in this area and on the street. There's a house down the street that I can convert into a restaurant. Let's do another concept.
Yeah.
And so it's fun to see these people land and expand. And I mean, I've heard of so many plans right now of people kind of working on that next. I mean, going back to Mateo, like he's opening up his own fast casual spot. The Central Ninth guys are doing the opposite, and they're working on getting a spot on Main Street for more of like a fine dining restaurant there. So it's fun to have this kind of a step above like leasing out a kitchen to someone and having them test out this idea.
Yeah.
But a way for, again, like local people. Because even thinking about, I mean, across the entire Nine Line, there is no chains. Well, I mean, it depends on your definition of chain. Because then there's like, I mean, Vessel's like probably the closest thing you could get to it.
Yeah, that's the closest. I mean, they're
Houston
still considered local.
Yes.
But yeah. Well, and it's funny because, Ninth and Ninth, it's interesting because the further west you go from Ninth and Ninth, I feel like it's building even more character. I don't know. Yeah. It's like really interesting. Like even, so Kathia Slayman, she's the one who owns the building of Manoli's. Okay. She's doing the development for where the Asian market used to be.
Yeah, the co-op.
Yeah, and like even this, like what she's going to turn that into is going to be so cool because it's like all local business. Like it's going to be really cool. And it's just adding so much character to that whole block from like 2nd East to like 5th East.
And she reached out to me before like much construction even started about like, hey, I'm starting this co-op. Would like some help promoting. I'm like, would love to. Like, let me know when there's more going on. And we're still talking about it a little bit, but I don't think people will appreciate it for what it is until it's open. Because I mean, everybody knows what a grocery store is. Everybody knows ingredients, but the more that you can understand this like local aspect, especially like local farms, local produce. Like, I mean, you talk to any restaurateur in the city, especially anybody who runs like a really good restaurant, they're not buying from, I mean, the mass producers, they're buying local. And sometimes it's hard and you have to be a little creative based on what there is and what season it is. But yeah, I mean, the more that we can support that all up and down the supply chain of restaurants and food in general, a lot more success, and everybody just wins.
Yeah, that's why Utah does so well. I feel like we're really good about supporting our local economy. Like Utahns are very loyal. That's what I love about being a neighborhood restaurant is the loyalty and patronage. When you're in a neighborhood, it's just, I don't know, it's really cool. Like the neighborhood right there, Liberty Wells, like they've been so loyal to Manoli's. Like I know, we strive hard to do good food, good service, have a good restaurant, but like it's really cool. Like when the pandemic happened, like it was really cool to just see how many people reached out like, oh, let me just donate some money. Let me give you guys a gift. Like just the neighborhoods in Salt Lake are just so loyal. And I know it goes the same in the avenues throughout Salt Lake, but it's pretty cool.
And it's one thing that I think is specific to like the city of Salt Lake. Like you get to like, and that's part of why I call myself a Salt Lake citizen, not a Utahn. Yeah. Is because the closer you are to this Salt Lake area, I mean, there are people that support and want to be part of that journey. Like even the story of Brentley Williams and Old Cuss, which is an ever evolving roller coaster in so many ways. But I mean, there's like 2 or 3 times where he's sitting in his coffee shop or somewhere talking about, he's like, oh man, I really want to do this and really do want to start a vegan cafe. And someone overhears it. They're like, hey, listen, I have 20 grand I'd like to invest because I'd rather that than sitting in a bank account. Would love to help you support this. And so it's fun to see how much collaboration there is that's unique to here. Like it doesn't happen in a lot of metropolitan areas in this level. And that's, I mean, even outside of food, but I mean, entrepreneurism, I mean, culture, music, everything. It's so fun to see how much people support each other, especially at the beginning.
Yeah, we're very fortunate here.
So you go to school, you have this experience at Cafe Niche where you're like, I can do this and I want to do this. I mean, talk to me about from there to, I mean, Manoli's, I mean, did you know it was going to be a Greek spot at that point, or what was your idea process getting there?
So I worked around at a bunch of different restaurants, Fleming's, Fresco, Cafe Niche, Grand America, just trying to get experience. And I was also, so I ran the catering program for Smith's Food and Drug downtown. They had like corporate offices and stuff like that. So I ran their catering program for a lot of that stuff. And so I was doing that full time and working part-time jobs. And when we were doing that, so I met Katrina, who's my business partner and wife, and we started Manoli's Catering.
I love how it's business partner first. I won't tell her.
Yeah. And so we started Manoli's Catering, and that was around the same time. It was like right when I was working at Niche, and that's kind of when we started that. And so we started Manoli's Catering, and we were just kind of like, okay, well, we can build enough business credit if we run this for a few years, start getting a clientele, and then hopefully we can open a restaurant from there. So that's kind of where it spurred. Cafe Niche and the catering was kind of all at the same time. So we were both working full-time jobs and then doing the catering at night. And we were using different kitchens to cater out of. And it was just cool because it just kind of happened organically. I can't remember how it happened, but someone was just like, hey, will you cater this event? And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, let's do it. And then boom, it just kind of started like that. And we just started catering all kinds of random things, from weddings to baptisms to family parties. And it gave us a chance to kind of build our name a little bit, build some business credit. And that was kind of the spur. So we had that for 3 years. And at that
just
point,
purely catering.
Yeah, just purely catering. And I love catering. That's what we're actually getting back into catering now that we can handle it again.
It feels like a very Greek thing to do, to want it, because you're like, listen, I want the masses.
Yeah, let's cook for as many people as possible. I'm like, I don't know how to cook for less than 12 people. So we started the catering company, did that. And then we went through the EDLF, which is Economic Development Loan Fund. Mm-hmm. We went through them to get the loan to start Manoli's.
Cool.
But yeah, we just started looking at spaces, and we just started looking. Then one day we were just driving up 9th South, and we saw a space, and we were just like, oh my God, that's actually really cool. And at that time, there was Pig in a Jelly Jar, that, and then I believe what's Via Vam's first restaurant, Forage.
Yep.
But I think they had just closed down. So it was just Forage that had just barely closed. They were closing around that time.
It's kind of a good time to be like, here's this first kind of set menu, farm to table, like elevated food experience, like it's like this Indiana Jones handoff. You're like, oh, you guys are leaving? Cool, we're coming in.
Yeah, and they were like 2 ahead of the curve for Salt Lake at the time too. Like they were doing some crazy stuff that we just weren't ready for yet in Salt Lake. Like it was really cool what they were doing. And so, so anyways, it was kind of interesting. And that's kind of how we found the space and kind of how it all transformed from there.
And how did you meet Katrina?
We were both on a triple date with people we didn't want to go with. We got like set up on this stupid date, and it was just like, I didn't want to go, and I was doing it as a favor for my buddy. And anyways, we sat next to her, right? We sat next to each other, and we just like hit it off. And yeah, we've been together 17 years now, and yeah, it's been really good. We own 2 restaurants together, a house, had some cats, and it's been good. It's been a good run so far.
And when you met her, I mean, before Manoli's opened, was she working in food industry, or was she?
No, so she was actually at that time. She was going to the University of Utah, working on her bachelor's degree. So she was just graduating around the time we met, and she was also working as a nanny too. But she always just loved food. Katrina's like just self-taught. She's super talented, super artistic. Always like just loved food, loved drink, loved anything in the art she loves. She's like a very artistic person. So yeah, it was good. I mean, when we started the catering company, I mean, she didn't even intend to get into it. She was just like, all right, yeah, let's do this, And I was just very fortunate that she wanted to, because she's got like the most amazing work ethic too. And I am just horrible at anything pastry too. I'm like, I'll do it, but it's not my forte. And she just like does such amazing pastry work, and she does amazing savory work. Like she does all the menu development with me and stuff. She's really good. So it's cool. It's kind of fun to see our relationship and how we've grown together and business wise, and like running menus together and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's been neat.
And it's fun to see how you complement each other in that, where she's like, listen, I know you hate pastries. I'm gonna do this in the sweets. You go worry about everything else. Hands middle, go team, and divide and conquer.
Yeah.
And especially to spend that much intimate time in like high stress environments, to be like, all right, cool. We're going to go spend an entire night at the restaurant, close, go home. And to hopefully still have energy for each other. With a lot of people, it couldn't work, wouldn't work because again, that's a lot of time, a lot of friction, but to see that you guys can, have that partnership where it's not just, romantic, but it's professional and it's friends and just kind of working on this dream together. So that's got to be a fun experience.
No, it's fun. It definitely comes with its challenges. You know what I mean? Like, from the outside, it's like, oh my God, it looks so dreamy. It's like, no, I can't tell how many fights we've been in. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely.
You mean it's still a normal relationship?
Yeah, it's still a normal relationship. Exactly. So yeah, it's tough. You got to figure out how to balance work, life, personal, and how to shut it off. And, the only way you figure it out is by, trying to kill each other sometimes,
Seriously.
But at the end of the day, though, like I would never do it with anyone else. And I'm very fortunate that we have the partnership we do because you can't do this business alone. You have to have a partner. It's too hard of a business.
Totally.
Yeah.
And when you think about Manoli, the menu, creating it, do you have any certain process or any favorite dishes that you either currently or in the past you're like, that one was special?
I love all of our dishes a lot. The lamb riblets are one of my favorite. And the charred octopus, those are probably two of my favorite dishes. I'm trying to think of like something that I've just been, honestly, when we first created the riblets, I was like, okay, this is going to sell like no other. I remember when we did a lineup and one of our servers started crying and she was like, this is so good. And I was like, God, is it that good? I was like, that's awesome. And then it ended up being such a hit, we put it on the menu. But that's probably like one of my favorites just overall, just because I love lamb so much.
Yeah.
But
no, I love that. So you have, a successful restaurant, neighborhood restaurant. I'm sure it's nice to see, people continually come in, especially like, we thought we'd walk in and have some riblets and a glass of wine because it's a Thursday night or really being like a part of that Liberty Wells area because those people do like that area is one that is very involved in the community and do like showing up. And then at what point were you like, you know what, I think I want to do another concept, but something a little different. When did that start? That idea start stewing or what made that want to become more of a reality?
Well, we had never had any intention to open a second restaurant. Like when we started Manoli's, we're like, okay, this is plenty. Like if you open multiple restaurants, it's too hard to keep your thumb on it and make sure quality is good and all of that. And then the pandemic happened, right? We needed to figure out how the heck are we going to make money? We were closed for 5 months and Katrina was like, hey, we should do a take and bake concept and do grab and goes and we can do pre-orders once a week. So we started doing that and it was like a huge success. People were like, this is awesome. Cooking instructions, they just throw it in the oven. Feels like they're cooking at home, but they're not. There's no dishes. And so we started doing that. And then we also were like, okay, let's start doing maybe some pop-ups. And we're like, no one's really making Yitos like fully from scratch in Salt Lake. Homemade pita, hand stacking the meat like they do in Greece. So we started doing these Yito pop-ups and those really took off too. Anyways, we were just like, God, if we ever opened a place, it'd have to be half a block away from the restaurant at least. That's the only way. Fast forward to 2022. Our cousin finds a space, literally half a block west of Manoli's. And it was a travel agency at the time, Ren International. And we went and looked at it and we're like, gosh, we'd do it. And so we put an offer on the building and we got it. And that was kind of the start of Parea. That's kind of how that whole concept happened. So there was no intention at all. It just happened. It was so weird.
You just spoke it into existence.
Yeah, I know. It was really weird, but it was good though, because we were starting to outgrow the Manoli's kitchen and we needed more kitchen space. We wanted to get back into catering. So it all kind of worked out the way we wanted it to work out, which was nice. Obviously there's a lot of headaches along the way, but when I look back at it, it's just, it's pretty cool that it kind of happened the way it did.
Yeah. And it reminds me of, so when I lived in Seattle, was working, South Lake Union, like downtown, kind of just around, the Amazon epicenter of things. And there was this, I can't remember the name right now, but there was this like just quick, fast casual Greek place that, you showed up at 12 and there's a line of 40 people around the corner, but they can just crank people out. And I missed that because again, like an easy quality in and out Greek spot. And then I remember when I heard that Parea was opening, I was like, please give me some semblance of that. And then I went, I was like, we're back. Like that's exactly what I want. So touche. Because don't get me wrong, I'll still go for a Greek souvlaki or we'll get a Greek plate at Crown Burger, but that one was just is reminiscent of that in all of the right ways.
Thanks. Yeah. That's what Parea really is. We're just trying to just do something that's just like quick and easy for people, but is just super high quality, tastes amazing, and makes you want to come back and just feel comfortable. Like it's just like a super casual spot. Parea means good company in Greek. Okay. Like your good friends and family and stuff like that. So we want it to be a place where you can bring your parea or you can pick up grab and go take a bakes to have for your pate at home. And that's really what we want.
I need to get one of those taken. I haven't done the take and bake yet.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. So we do like spinach and phyllo pies, Greek casseroles. We also have like a refrigerated section area where we do like our homemade Greek yogurt, dips, things like that. So you can order things online or in store. It's great for when you have people over, if you want some prep for the week so you don't have to do all the cooking. But yeah, it's just nice to have some of that stuff in your freezer ready to go.
I'm just like closing my eyes, thinking of my house just smelling like a Greek restaurant. And that makes me really excited about that. Because, I mean, going back to, like Elena Salta, content creator, a lot of Greek cooking. And so like, I'll sit there and I'll watch her be, I'm like, damn it, I need to go get, I need to go get some Greek food. I'll DM her and be like, wait, how's that different than this? Or what's this? She's like, this is the family recipe, or this is how this works. Or this, and I'm like, damn it, I need to go eat some more Greek
What's your
food.
favorite Greek dish, would you say? Or like, is there something that you're just like, I love that more than anything?
A euro's a euro. Especially as soon as I start seeing him scraping the meat off and putting it in the pita, like stick a fork in me, I'm done. But then even just like it's simple, lemon chicken, rice, salad, like even just like from Crown Burger. It's so simple and so good.
Yeah.
It's because it's always the simple things, right? Like I don't need some huge complicated dish, but you give me quality ingredients made from like the family recipe, and it's great.
That's what people want. I feel like that's what the pandemic showed people too. You don't need anything floofy. You just want good quality food.
Totally.
For like a decent price. And that goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've yet to meet a successful chef that doesn't like number one priority quality ingredients.
Yeah.
Like talking with Viet and Pretty Bird, he's like, listen, we don't go get like bad chicken. Like this is all really good chicken, really good ingredients. Like we've spent a lot of time in this. And every single other person I've mentioned in the podcast so far has been similar. And so it's funny whenever I see people cooking and they're like, so I went to Walmart and I got all this. I'm like, no. No wonder it doesn't taste that great.
Yeah.
Like you can't, great value does not provide great taste.
You can taste it.
Oh yeah. And so it's fun to see when, even in like my own cooking, which I do rarely because such is my life right now. But when I take that extra effort and spend, 20% more, 30% more, 100% more, whatever it is, I'm like, I can taste this difference and it's worth every penny. And so thinking about, next steps for either you, Manoli's, Parea, another restaurant concept that can fall in your lap. Any other plans of growth or change, or really just focus?
Not right now. Our biggest, we opened Parea in October. So what is it, like somewhere between 7 and 9 months old. So it's still really new. So our big thing right now is obviously maintaining and growing Manoli's, but Parea, we're really trying to grow the market, and we're starting to do some wholesale as well. So you can find like our pitas and dips at Caputo's. And then we're also trying to expand on our catering. So right now we're really trying to expand on catering and some wholesale too. And that's kind of our next steps right now. As far as like another concept, we're not even thinking about that right now. We're trying to figure out how to run two places right now. So this is a new venture for us, Yeah.
I would be concerned if you're like, we're going to open up 5 more Pareas. We're getting 2 more Manoli's.
Yeah. That's just not our style. I'm all about, work and making money and that stuff, but I want to be able to enjoy what I'm doing. And when you have that many locations, you're not cooking anymore, and that's what I don't want to lose.
The more you're removed from it all, you love being in the kitchen and love being able to feel that energy, but then the more you remove yourself, things don't go as well unless everything is dialed in, which is an ever evolving process.
Well, yeah. And like the 3 things that get you that got me into it is the food and the employees and the customers. Like that's like, I want to talk to I love talking to our customers. I love, training our employees, talking to them, being with them. And I love the food. And if you open too many places, it's just too hard. You're behind a computer desk and pen and paper. And, I already do plenty of that. And I don't want to lose that part of it, because it's not worth it if you're not doing those 3 things. And what's it worth?
Yeah, I'd be really worried if you looked at me and were like, I really love building financial models and looking at lease contracts and really just negotiating terms. Like that is what gives me life.
Yeah, it's like, no, that's not what gives me life at all.
Well, and I also know that you're someone who's very involved in the Greek community. I don't know the correct terms. I'm going to shoot from the hip, but like the Greek Council that I know Chris is on. But talk to me about, what gets talked about there, how you guys prioritize things, how you support the community. Also like the one that everybody thinks about it coming up, the Greek festival. Talk to me a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, I mean, growing up and it was awesome. I feel like that's like the Greek, being part of the Greek festival at a young age. You're always volunteering. You're around so many people all the time. That's why, like, I feel like it's really interesting to see like Greek kids. They have such strong social skills because you're forced into it with big families and stuff. But also like the community and Greek festival, Greek dance practice, because you're going to Greek dance practice, half of the year to get ready for Greek festival. You're going to Sunday school, so you're around people all the time, and so it creates awesome social skills. But it's just cool to be involved in a community that's, our church is very correlated with our community, right? They're one and the same. But it's just cool to be involved in a community. I mean, the networking, the friendships, like I still to this day hang out with like most of my Greek friends still, that we played basketball together, Greek dance together, went to Sunday school together. If we're not hanging out, we can call each other if we need to. It's an awesome community, and I feel so fortunate. And especially in Salt Lake, since we have such a big Greek community, even when we open the catering company or the restaurant, like having that backbone of support, I can't tell you how much that helps spearhead you in the beginning to get you where you need to be. Like that community aspect of the Greek community is like, it's really cool. Like it's a very loyal group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially nice when you're like, okay, I'm going to open up a restaurant. We're going to do this. And have people show up with gloves on being like, hey, how can I help? Or what can we cook?
Yeah.
Can we
like
do this?
a lot of people ask me like, hey, what can we do? How can we help? And it's like, I don't know. It's fun when you feel like you have support and you don't want to let people down, how much further that drives your success.
Yeah.
Like it's wild. And I feel like that's something that the Greek community really is good at. So
yeah. Super random question. So Price, Utah is not notorious, famous for being like very Greek.
Yeah.
Like, cause someone told me once, contact. So I was one of the first Lyft drivers in Salt Lake, and that's when I knew I liked talking to people, because someone would hop in and next thing you know, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so great. Have a great day. But I was talking to someone and they're like, oh, I'm from Price, Utah. And I like said something else like, so yeah, like obviously I'm Greek. And I was like, pause, expand on that. She's like, well, yeah, everybody in Price is Greek. It's like a huge Greek area. But my question is like, why? Like, what made that happen?
Yeah, so Carbon County, that area, there's a ton of mining that happened there in the early 1900s. And so that brought a ton of Greeks. A lot of immigrants came over to work in either the mine Kennecott Copper, which is where one of my grandfathers worked, or up in Carbon County in the mines up there. So like, because, they would bring poor immigrants to work in these mines and basically enslave them, So that's where like a lot of the Greeks came. So a lot of Greeks started in Carbon County or stayed in Carbon County and then came here. So there was a ton of Greeks from Carbon County.
Okay.
So the mining is what brought them over.
Interesting. I always wanted to, I guess I could have looked it up on my own, but I was reminded of that. So now anybody I meet from Price, it's usually like a 70, 85% chance. Like, oh, I'm from Price. I'm like, oh, so you're Greek. They're like,
must be Greek.
How'd you know? I'm like, I was tipped off once upon a time.
There's 1,000 people in the city, and
so 750 of them.
It's
there.
most likely. Yeah, my sister-in-law is from Price as well. Yeah, so
is there like not turf war, I want to say, but is it like, let's say, for example, Greek festival comes up and you're like, there's the Price Greeks, they're coming in.
Not that I know of. I don't think there's a turf war, but I don't think there'd be much of a competition. Like I said,
yeah.
The Price is a little small, but yeah, there's no turf wars. It's not like West Side Story.
Damn it.
So
No snapping
I wish
and dancing.
we could snap at each other, But yeah, no. So there's like an Ogden Greek church, there's Price, and then we have the Salt Lake, the Prophet Elias and Holy Trinity, and then there's one in Sandy now, a new church. But I think those are all the churches in Utah.
Cool.
I believe.
I mean, it's got to be, it's obviously like one of the biggest outside of the predominant one as far as like religious.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, we have the biggest Greek festival west of the Mississippi. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Like we have an enormous Greek festival.
And it's one of, if not the longest running like festivals in Salt Lake. Like what?
Yeah.
How many years have we going on?
I think it started in the 60s or 70s. I think the 70s it started. Yeah. I think they just did their 50-year anniversary, but I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, it's been around for a while. And it's crazy. I mean, people still come and roll the dolmadas in the summer, do the Tidopi tests. Like, I mean, as things have gone on, it's get a little tougher. So, they're ordering some things in, but like there's still a lot of stuff made from scratch, which is cool. And all the kids are still involved in the Greek dance practices and they're dancing to entertain everyone. So I don't know. It's still really cool. It's cool that it's still, so intact, because nowadays with everything going on and how busy everyone's lives are, it can be easy to lose track of community and to kind of fall away from it. So it's pretty cool how it still stayed intact.
Yeah, I mean, even like the other festival that comes to mind, I mentioned like the Utah Festival. This is the 49th year. Yeah, which puts us in like mid 70s. Like the Greek festival going on longer than that, which is And it's great to see. I mean, again, how much bigger it's gotten, how much it stays a priority for the community.
Yeah, it really has.
Manoli, I want to end with the 2 questions I always ask everybody at the end of every episode. Number 1, if you could have someone on the Small Lake City podcast and hear more about their story and what they're up to, who would you want to hear from?
I think Ryan Lauder from Copper Onion. I think he'd be fun to hear his story because me and Ryan are buddies, but I don't really know too much of his background. So I think it would be fun to kind of hear that, honestly.
Sick me at him. But that's also been the fun thing. Even the friends that I've known before starting the podcast, like, it's not like you sit down with people and you're like, all right, let's start from the beginning chronologically and tell me your entire story. Yeah.
You meet people on later in life and you're not, and especially like, unless you're hanging out all the time, you're not always knowing their whole background. So I think, that would be interesting.
Cool. Yeah. And that was one place, like in college, I interned at Northwestern Mutual, which was at the building connected to Copper Onion. And so we'd go there a lot, but then there's like this hiatus. And then a friend reached out, who's just kind of going through a hard time in life. And he's like, can we grab dinner? Just like to chat. I'm like, yeah, of course. He's like, well, where do you want to go? I was like, I want that garlic burger. So I was like, I'm going to go there, but they don't have it anymore. RIP. Kind of bummed about that. I'll talk to him about it. We're getting it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been like you said, there's like these restaurants that came in that were ahead of their time, higher quality, and we'd love to talk to them.
Yeah, no, I think and Mike Block from Table X, I think would be interesting to talk to.
Yes.
Mike's a really good guy. He's awesome. He's a good person, really good chef. I really like him a lot. He'd be a good one to hear his background because when they started Table X too, I mean, even that at the time was pretty far ahead for Salt Lake. So it's really cool to see what they've done.
Yeah. I mean, I slowly want to be the Thanos that collects all the Infinity Stones of the James Beard semifinalist nominees. All of them. So we'll get them all.
Yeah.
And then lastly, if people want to find more information about Manoli's, Parea, what's the best place to find information?
Yeah, I mean, you can go on our websites, manolisonnine.com or pareaon9.com. But best thing to follow us too is get on our social media and follow us because we're always doing fun events. Like this next Thursday, we're doing a lamb on the spit at Manoli's, which is awesome. Do our regular menu plus a lamb on the spit prefix if you want to do that. I carve fresh lamb off the spit for everyone. Local lamb, super awesome. So we're doing that this next Thursday. And then Parea, we're always doing really fun specials, new things in the market. So follow us on our social media, and that's the best way to see kind of what's going on in both restaurants.
Deal. I am salivating and way too hungry for 10 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah,
I got to take care of that. But, Manoli, thank you so much. This has been great.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Great to hear the story. And everybody go check out Manoli's, go check out Parea. What's the Greek festival? Do you have the date yet? Or is...
Let's see. I believe it's the 5th through the 7th. But don't quote me.
Deal.
I gotta look at
Tentatively block out the dates for the 5th to the 7th of September or October? September.
It's always September.
Yeah, that's right. I always get my months mixed up for a lot of things. But anyway, 5th to the 7th of September. Mark your calendars. If you've been, you know why. If you haven't been, come find out why. And
5th to the 7th.
Great experience. So keep all that in mind. But
heck yeah. Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. This was nice.
Thanks for coming. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Small Lake City Podcast. Don't forget to like, follow, review, subscribe, and share this episode with your friends. And we'll catch you next week. We'll see you there.